Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, creepy friends. Welcome to Nixie Bobs. And I think after like the weekend and today of waiting for my Hermes, my brain's just gone to mush. But I did watch Thunderbirds about an hour and a half ago, so I know completely what happened at the weekend. It was actually a pretty good episode considering, well, I always like the ones that everybody's in, as you know from last week. It had 4 out of 5 this weekend, so it's all cool. Saturday's episode was called Bolts from the Blue. We start out with Penelope and Parker inspecting a solar station, and it's essentially a sales lady trying to get them to sign off it and say it's a good idea. There seems to have been some technical difficulties and some problems. Probably we've had like a little demonstration or two here or there, but of course we're not going to see that on a PG show. I called this woman, until I knew her name, Bad Blue Eyeshadow Woman, because I would love to know who created her outfit. So Edmonds is the name of the lady, and she tells Kinnear, and I thought we'd seen him before, and we have, to put the station at full power. It was not at full power at the time. He wasn't happy, he did it anyway, and it started sending down all these solar beams. So we've got a mum, a child, and a co-worker taking a big giant panda and a plane to we don't know where, and it gets hit by a solar beam. All power gets lost, so who are you going to call? We only know one group who can save that lot. So we then try and shut down the station unknowingly that this is going on, and they can't. Penelope's not too happy about it. Meanwhile, you've got Scott, Virgil and Gordon. They go off to go and save the 3 people and the panda. Edmonds then finds out what's going on, and she decides to abandon ship. What a lovely lady she is. Now, Kinnear, I did think we'd seen Kinnear before. The name registered in my head, and for one reason, not the other one that we're not going to discuss. He was actually in line with Fischler some episodes ago. Forget that whether that was 2.1 or 1.2 from last year. I don't know anymore. It's so long ago that my head is a little bit mushed with it all. He decides he's going to stay and help Penelope and Parker shut the station down or reset the station or help it explode. Not sure which at this point. So meanwhile, we've got Thunderbird 2 connected to the other craft. Virgil is saving the people. He gets all 3 of those out first. Gordon helps them down. And then we have poor old Virgil stuck with the panda on the other ship. The tube breaks off. He's stuck. What are we going to do? He's also hanging literally off the end of the other half of the tube from Thunderbird 2 with his cool little grabby thingies. I love that. I don't know who came up with Virgil having that robotic mechanical thing on him, but I really do like it. I think it's a really cool addition to the newer age series. I just felt sorry for him, just holding onto this grip flying in midair. Scott has to jump out of Thunderbird 1 with his cool little jetpack on. New one from last week, because obviously that one got melted away with a lot of water. That was last week. That was indeed last week. I had to think about that. He gives Virgil a push, goes back to Thunderbird 1. All 3 of their crafts by this point have been hit by these proton beams, so they're all struggling to actually have full power, any type of shield. It's all very hard. Everybody's like hurtling towards the water, including the other bloody craft, the one that they're trying to save with the panda on board. So back in space, Parker manages to turn off the beams after Penelope throws her compact across the other side of this very, very hot room, which they can't enter. We should have had Arnold Schwarzenegger as Terminator for this, I think. I think he could have done it. I'm just reminding myself of the scene where Sarah Connor and, I can't remember his name, Sarah and John Connor, they're escaping the T-1000 and they're like, no, too hot. That just suddenly flashed through my mind as a random little addition there. Kids, you're not ready for Terminator yet, okay? Don't go there. So they had to turn off the gravity. This is why Penelope threw her compact. But I can't work out why poor old Parker has to go in and turn off this proton beam thing. Because surely that's Kinnear's job as the person aboard the space station. Throwing it out there. So the beams stop, which is better for everybody on the ground. So now the space station is breaking up, which means Penelope, Parker and Kinnear have got to leg it off that thing before it explodes, with them throwing them out into space. We don't want that. We like Penelope and Parker as characters very much, and Kinnear's not so bad. He's not as annoying as bloody Gladys and the other guy, whose name I can't remember because it's been that long. Gladys, what is his name? What is the guy's name that spends all the time with Gladys the plant? Seriously, someone throw it at me. So Virgil manages, actually I found this very clever, Virgil manages to get Gordon to lower the pod in Thunderbird 2, and he physically pushes this panda into the pod of Thunderbird 2 and then jumps on himself, nearly falls off, has to extend his own little arm out there, likes that. So everybody's safe, everybody's on Thunderbird 2. Gordon wants to go and see the panda, which he can't because it's in a big box. Kind of feel bad for the panda being stuck in a big box like that with no visual. So the end scene is Edmund's landing back down on Earth in that pod, and she, unbeknowingly to her, gets arrested. End of the episode, I'm sure we'll be seeing Edmunds again. Characters like that always tend to crop up on us again. So I did enjoy it. It was definitely, I enjoy it when it's more fast-paced as it is, as they've done in the last few episodes. So it really did keep you on your toes, and it had its entertainment, its banter. It was definitely a big problem. I've always got points to make on these episodes. That's what we come here for. Why have none of the Thunderbirds still got new clothes? Virgil's still in his lumberjack shirt, Scott's still in his blue one, Gordon's still in that bloody hideous yellow Hawaiian contraption thing he's wearing. I'm still convinced that the older the brother, the longer the trouser, because Virgil, Scott, full-length jeans, Gordon, three-quarter length, Alan, shorts. I'm convinced it's something to do with, you must not qualify in Tracy Island for a full-length pair of jeans until you reach a certain age. Who dressed Miss Edmonds? It was a hell of an outfit. It was hell of a loud. And the blue eyeshadow, really? It's not the 80s. I did love the hairdryer comment from Gordon to Virgil. One time, I'm pretty sure it was more. Love moments like that. Plus it does show how much male grooming has moved along in the world, because now people are just open to going, yeah, I've got hairdryer, I've got straighteners. It's not all for girls anymore. That's totally cool. It's an episode like this where you see the elevation of the characters from puppet to CGI. So what I mean by that, and again, this is something I've touched on before, I'm going to say it again. Back in the puppet days, we still had our danger. We still had people putting themselves in danger, doing crazy stuff. In this series, it's taken to that next level. Scott jumping out of a plane with a rocket pack. Virgil hanging at so many thousand feet by just a tiny claw. Stuff that we didn't see in the original, that we just didn't think of back in the Puppeteer series. They take more risks. And I guess when you think back to the Puppeteers, and maybe it's because they were puppets, perhaps it's just a little bit more rigid at times in that respect. But then I guess we didn't really think about, you know, jumping out of planes at times and stuff like that. You know, we had crashes, we've had people crashing into trees, we've had various things in the original. But this does elevate it in the sense of certainly our Tracy brothers taking bigger risks, bigger life risks. And I do enjoy that, completely enjoy that. I am never, ever going to get bored of hearing David Graham as Parker. Not ever. Especially in the, is it the Halifax adverts he was in at some point in this year as well? Love that. His voice just never gets old. It's the hook to the original, and you can't beat it. No matter what, you can't beat his voice. I said this last week, but it's very, very nice to see another Tracy brother taking control of another craft. You know, in the original, Virgil probably would have just sat aboard and dropped Gordon out to do the danger, but instead Gordon's taking control of Thunderbird 2 in this and driving, and then Enoch's back control at the end of the episode, as opposed to Virgil doing anything. And I do love that we get to see multiple brothers doing multiple things in multiple crafts. That's quite refreshing. Be kind of nice to see Alan go up in Thunderbird 5 for a little while. As we know from the original, I think it was a 60-day term each brother did. We did see Alan take over from John about twice, but it would be nice to see John come down on the ground and do a mission himself. Maybe we're going to see that in the future. I knew I recognised the voice as Ms. Edmonds. I had to wait until the credits rolled, and I just kind of accidentally paused it. Ruby Wax! I knew it was coming from somewhere. I knew it was coming. I recognised it on some level. I do love Ruby Wax. She's a fantastic character. And the big thing for next week, I had to look ahead to the guide. Attack of the Reptiles is next week. The big, huge, real alligators on set. This is the one I think we've all been waiting for since we saw the trailer for this part of the series. I saw it and I went, oh, this is going to be fun. I think we're all going to be laughing. If you are an original series fan like myself, I think we're all just going to be sitting there either dying of laughter or enjoying the episode. I'm not quite sure which yet. Either way, the real lizards are in next week, and I am super hyped to see it. My excitement is mounting with that. I hope they get a hoverboard and have Alan knock his head again, because that would just be complete. It's obviously based on Attack of the Alligators, and it's just really ironic that they did that just after I reviewed Attack of the Alligators a couple of months back. I can't wait for this so much. Thanks everyone for being here and watching another Thunderbirds review. They're all doing really well, so thanks to anyone who comes to watch me talk about this. I'd love to have you subscribe. We are finally all 777. I'm so thankful for everybody who does that. Do leave me a comment. Was there anything I missed? Anything I didn't? Anything you want to mention to me? Do let me know. If not, hit like, hit dislike, don't get mean on the channel, and I'll see everyone again next week for more Thunderbirds, when I'll probably gonna be sitting here giggling like hell, or we've got a couple of makeup videos left to do. I've always got stuff left to do, and there's Halloween in the mix in 2 weeks time. I'll see everyone again. Bye.